So in a way, our basic problem is a case of mistaken identity. That we think we're separate individuals apart from everything and everyone. And in this dramatic hallucination that we all live in, we make ourselves miserable, emotionally and physically. Now that's a hard one for all of us to get because we all seem so separate. Everyone in this audience came here housed in a separate body, right? And when this event is over, everyone will walk out the door to their separate abodes. And it seems like we're all separate. As I look at people here, I see a bunch of appearingly separate people. And yet what the physicists are letting us know, and what the worldwide spiritual thought of the centuries has said in the same way, is that we're really all one. We're all interconnected at some invisible level. In this one unified field that's invisible, that's just dancing energy, combined with intelligence, is encoded all the information of everything that was and is and ever will be. And here we are, a part of that source and that power. And when we focus on that source and that energy, we do not feel so powerless. When we know we are a part of it, not apart from it, which is what we most often experience. Now, when we were talking before about how it affects our bodies are the first thing to experience the effects of trauma, or of pain, or of anxiety. We start having fear thoughts or anxiety thoughts, the cells in our bodies become jittery. They become anxious. It begins to affect our immune system. We begin to secrete the stress hormones. As we secrete the stress hormones, it takes more of a toll in our whole body. And we often think this symptom just came about out of the blue. You know, I've been eating healthily, I've been exercising, what have I been doing? How come this symptom came now? What we don't realize is at that invisible level to us, we've overlooked little cues over and over and over again. And by overlooking all those little cues, there's been an accumulation of a breakdown of our cells, a breakdown of the different systems in our bodies, all in response to our consciousness and our thoughts. This heart attack didn't just happen out of the blue. This cancer didn't just develop out of the blue. None of that happened that way. I didn't just get this cold out of the blue. It may be more that we've overlooked the cues, which are so important to help us deal with stress upstream. You know, it's hard to clean up a polluted river. The Hudson River over here in New York has been very polluted for a long time, especially down here at the mouth. You don't see us putting in purification plants at the mouth of the river before it goes out into the Long Island Sound. What a massive task that would be. And yet that's what our whole health system is like. We're trying to manage pollution, manage mind pollution that's taking place in the body. And we're trying to manage that rather than bringing health and wholeness. We have a system that's more managing illness and sickness than we have a system that's bringing health and wholeness and happiness. So how do we treat that? I think of the image of you drive down a superhighway, and if you get a little bit spaced out, you hit those little markers on the side of the road over there. Those little markers go brrr, you know, and wake you up. They call your attention back. I'm drifting out. I need to get back on track. And so I do. I get right back on the road. But what would happen if I don't heed those markers? I'm going to run off the road. And what would happen if I don't heed that? I'll run in a ditch. And if I don't heed that, what's likely to happen? I'm going to crash into a tree or run off a cliff or into a river. We don't heed the markers that we have going off and giving us signals in our bodies all the time. Instead of dealing with that symptom and seeing what the language of stress is that's being expressed through that symptom, we try to get rid of the symptom as fast as we can. We run to the doctor and say, get rid of it for me. You know, give me some pills that will take it away, or cut me open and take it out. Doesn't mean we should never do that. I'm not anti-medicine. I value it and I think it's great. But what we do is skip something very important. We skip the importance of the language that's being expressed in that symptom and dealing with it and nipping it in the bud before it grows into something major.